कॉपी लाना क्या पढ़ा के कॉपी शुभुची से पढ़े हैं हेलो हेलो
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
क्या था
Good afternoon, sir.
गो टू हुआ था हाँ हाँ वाइल नहीं हुआ था ना स्टूडेंट्स प्लीज लिसन टू मी
Yes, sir.
please listen to me because I am taking your class. If you are interested in talking, go outside and talk. If you are interested in talking, go outside and talk. Otherwise, I will call you and ask questions here. And once I start asking question in 18 degrees centigrade, you will find sweating. In 18 degrees centigrade, you will find sweating. I have also many ways to stop this cross talking. It's not that I do not know. I do not apply those methods. And tomorrow onwards, any day, you will have a quiz test. The quiz test will have 15 objective questions. Each question carries 1 mark. Total mark is 15. Any day it may be started and it will be conducted in the class itself. It will be conducted in the class itself. Number of question 15. Each question carries 1 mark. Total mark 15. No negative marking and time period is 20 minutes. If you come late to the class, you may lose some time. If I start it at 3 o'clock, it will be ended at 3:20. If you come at 3:10 and appear for 10 minutes, all question I don't mind on that. So you can only take your own risk. But you cannot claim I will sit for 20 minutes. If 20 minutes is given, the end time must also be given. The difference between the start time and end time is 20 minutes. End time is fixed, start time is fixed. And you have every choice to delay the start time. But you have no choice to delay the end time. End time is fixed. Start time, you have every liberty to delay it. A number of question again, I told 20 minutes question, no negative marking, okay, and it can be held in any day from tomorrow onwards. And I will do it the day I find less number of students in my class. Okay, I normally prefer those dates. Okay. So, online student, is it audible? Have you listened it properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Nirmalya, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Audible.
Do you listen it properly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Online student will appear the quiz test on Moodle. Offline students will appear in pen and paper. Okay. They will appear in pen and paper. You online students will appear in Moodle.
The timetable?
Time, it will any day, any time from tomorrow onwards. During my class only, any Thursday or Friday.
Answer syllabus.
Syllabus is up to if statement. Last day class.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Last day class, no go to is considered.
It can be conducted tomorrow also, or it can be conducted from next week also.
Yes, and any day from tomorrow onwards.
Okay, okay.
Again, বাসু যে পার্টি করছি তা কান ধরি নেই আসবি কানটা ধরিও নেই আসবি when I start speaking in the class, please don't talk. If you want to talk, I am also interested to talk. I'll go. If you are interested to talk, come here and talk. I'll see how can you talk. Come here. Then answer to my question. Okay, otherwise go outside. So last day we are discussing about if else if and if else statements, and with the help of go to statements also along with if statement, we could write a loop where a set of statement can be executed repeatedly. And everyone must have done this. Finding largest. And also we discussed score of the cricket players. And to find out how many players scored century in the match. All these we discussed. I expect all should have done it. If not, sometime in the free time, try to do it. Now, conditional operators. This is the only ternary operator available in C programming language. This is the only ternary operator available in C programming language. When I said ternary operator, earlier we discussed some unary operator like plus plus minus minus. Binary operator like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, what we have studied in English language. Ternary operator consists of two symbols. Ternary operator consists of two symbols. One is question mark, one is colon. Ternary operator means it takes three operand for its operations. Unary operator requires one operand, binary requires two, and ternary requires three operands to carry out the executions. And the symbols are question mark and colon. The symbols are question mark and colon. If you look at this, we have a ternary operator here. Question mark is one of the symbol used in the ternary operator. Colon is another symbol being used. Before question mark, there will be an expression which I named it as expression 1. In between question mark and colon, there will be an expression which I name it as expression 2. And after colon, there will be an expression 3 and ended with semicolon. The syntax is expression 1, question mark, expression 2, colon, expression 3, semicolons. Then the expression 1 is normally a conditional expression, but could be any type of expression not returning a floating point value, not returning a floating point value or real value. The conditional expression is supposed to return an integer value or address value, which I'll tell later on what is the address value. For the time being, let me say the conditional expression returns an integer value, can be 0 or non-zero, -1, -2, +1, +2. 0 is treated as false, non-zero is treated as true over here. If the conditional expression returns 0, remember it, if the conditional expression returns a value 0, it is treated as false. Okay. If it returns a value non-zero, any integer value other than 0, it is treated as true. If it is treated as true, returns non-zero value, the expression 2 gets evaluated. The expression 2 gets evaluated. 3 will not be evaluated. And expression 2 will return the result of expression 2. Again, I am saying, first, which expression gets executed? Expression. If it becomes non-zero, treated as true. If it is true, it executes which expression then? And the return value of expression 2 gets returned. If someone is there, he or she will catch hold of that value. If no one is there, the value will fall, it will be discarded. Understood it? However, if the conditional expression returns a false value, returns a value 0, expression 3 gets executed, expression 2 will not be executed. Expression 3 gets executed and expression 3 returns a value. Expression 3 returns a value. And once the value is returned, if someone is there to catch it, that variable will catch the value. If no variable is there to catch it, the value will fall, it will be discarded. It is nothing but if-else statements. It is nothing but a equivalent to more or less if-else statement. I'll show the equivalence also. I'll show it. As I told, it takes 3 arguments. Let's go with an example. Let's see. Let's see. I wrote a statement. First statement. Do you read it properly? X assigns to P less than 0. Let me say P is an integer variable. Okay. P is an integer variable. Suppose the value of P is -2. Is it true or false?
True.
True.
True, sir.
If it is true, which statement will be executed? 2 or 3? Very good. Assume value of A is 2 and value of B is 3. Then this A plus B will make a value and that would be returned. That would be and this return value, is anybody there to catch it? X. Who is there to catch it? X. So what would be the value of X?
5.
Very good. Understood it or not? However, if I say
Can you
value
repeat
of
one
P
more?
is +2, value of B is +2. Will it be true or false? Oh, very good.
False.
If it is false,
False.
which statement will be executed? Colon part or question mark part? Colon part. Colon part. Expression 3. It will make A minus B. A is 2, B is 3. A minus B will become. If it is -1, that value will be returned. Class ke baat आओगे. Please don't disturb. Get out of the class. You'll enter after the class. The value became -1, and that will be returned. That will be returned. Is any variable there to accept it? Who will accept it?
X.
And value of X will immediately become.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Understood this? Tell me yes or no.
Yes.
With this understanding, let me proceed with a few more examples. Somewhere you must understand with all examples. Again, I wrote.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, if you put a
Malhotra, don't put if bots. Let me explain all. Then if you have doubt, you ask. Otherwise, if bots, it will only go on like this. Okay? Okay? Let me explain, understand fast. I have not finished my explanations. Look at this. Again, I have a statement X assigns to P equal to 0. I told you it should be an expression, may not necessarily be a conditional expression. P assigns to 0 is an assignment statement or conditional statement? Very good. Assignment statement. So if it is an assignment statement, after its execution, P will be assigned to 0 and it returns which value? Any expression, let me tell, sorry. Let me tell. I have a statement A equal to B plus C.
Sir, your voice is.
Because of you, Saurabh, all online students, please switch off your audio. Switch off your audio. This is basically
Sir,
for
your
you.
voice is lagging, sir.
Because you have switched on all your audio. Now it must be audible. Yes or no, Nirmalya?
no,
Yes,
it is
sir.
audible.
Yes. Now look at this. I have a statement A equal to B plus C. Value of B is 10. Value of C is 30. This expression, when it is evaluated, I already told it in assignment operator. The right hand side expression gets evaluated and the value became 40. Assigns to the variable. Very nice. And the whole statement returns the value of the right hand side expression. The whole statement that returns a value 40. Yes or no? Is
Yes.
anyone there to catch it? It will fall there. It will fall there. But every statement in C programming language, including printf, scanf, returns a value. Don't ask me right now what value printf returns. Don't ask me this question right now. So in C programming language, assignment statement returns a value. That is the value of which variable or which expression, right hand side or left hand side? Right hand side. With this ideology, this assigns to 0. When I write this assigns to 0, P will be assigning to 0 and the statement will return a value. No, right hand side value. What I told. P assigns to 0, returns which value?
3.
0. True or false?
False.
If it is false, will it execute question mark or colon mark?
colon.
This colon will return value 3 or not? And once 3 is returned, is anyone there to accept it? Who
Yes,
is
sir.
there? X. The value of X will become very nice. Had I been written P assigns to 10, value of X would have been 3 or it would have become 2. Very nice. Very nice. If you have understood this, I have one more questions. X assigns to, P assigns to 1. This will be true or false? Very good. If it is true, what would be the value of X?
2.
Very nice. Look at this. Look at this.
So can you tell one more time?
Can you tell?
Can you tell one more time again?
What?
सर अभी आप जो बोले वो समझ नहीं आया.
If you have not understood first, try to understand the second one.
Yes,
If
sir.
not understood second, try to understand the third. I have 4 examples. I will not finish with one example.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Once you have not understood anything, then stop. I'll clarify it after the class.
Okay, sir.
4th example. I wrote I double equal to 1. Let me say I have an integer variable I is equal to 2. Then I double equal to 1, is it true or false? Very good,
False.
very good, very good. If it is false, will it go to the question mark part or
Colon.
Colon.
or it will display inversity? Is it understood? Everyone tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it will also printer will also return the number of character it has printed, maybe 10 or 5. I don't count it. I don't count it right now. Will the return value be accepted by anyone? No one is there, it will fall there. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you want to assign, you write down X assigns to. You will find out X will be assigned to the number of characters being printed with printf statement. Don't go into details of how printf returns a value. Don't go into this. That is not my question. Now let me say. Suppose I would have initialized I equal to 1. This statement, conditional statement, first which I have written before question mark, would have been true or false?
True, sir.
Very good. Had it been true, it would have executed the question mark part or colon part.
Question mark.
So this would have printed a kiit on the screen or not? Understood it?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now I clarified with 4 examples. If it is not understood, wait for the class to be over, then you can ask your doubts. If someone listens, can understand. Look at this. Yes. You can do all options you can do, all postmortem you can do and see the answers. Okay, now come back to this if else statements. I have an if else statement like this. If X is greater than 5, value of Y will become 3, else value of Y will become 4. I could replace this by single statement like this. Y assigns to X is greater than 5, returns 3, else returns 4. I wrote with colon. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Equivalent statement. I have another equivalent statement to find out largest between 2 numbers. I have 2 numbers A and B. I like to find out the largest between 2 numbers A and B. And I will store the largest value in the variable max. I will store the largest value in the variable max. What I wrote, if A is greater than B, then what would be max, A or B? Very nice. Else, max will be B. I could write using if else, or if I want, I can write down using these statements. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
If A is greater than B, it returns A, else it returns B, and that will be assigned to the variable max. Very interesting. And some more examples interesting with respect to this ternary operator I will be discussing when I will discuss recursive functions. Okay, I will be discussing. I close it here. Further making any examples on this. This I only discussed the syntax and the execution sequence. Next, let's come to the looping. Now we have already started writing loops. Normally people write loops using while, do while, or for loops.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you tell about the switch statement?
No, why should I tell switch? Somebody will ask me, sir, can you tell about pointer? Did I tell any word about switch? No, why should I tell?
Switch
I'll discuss switch in my sequence of discussions. Yes or no? You will ask to discuss this, you will ask to discuss this. So listen my class. If you have doubt on this, you can ask. Don't ask me a doubt which I have not taught. And I'll teach everything. Okay. Look at this. We have statements like while, for, and do while, which are used for loop. Loop in the sense, sometimes in a program, I would like to execute few statements repeatedly. Few statements I want to execute. I can ask one question. I want to display my name on the screen 10 times. I could write 10 printf statements. Yes or no? Printf this, double quote this 10 times. If I ask 100 times, many will feel boring. 1,000 times, no one will do this. Yes or no? 1,000 times printf. But copy paste is available, you could do this. So let's see how can I repeat execution of few statement number of times using this while, for, or do while type of statements. First, let's come to the while loop. The while is a reserved word. The while loop starts, the syntax is like this. While, inside bracket expression, then we have a block, then next statements. Earlier I told, whether remember or not, a block consists of either one or more number of statements. A block in C programming language consists of one or more number of statements. Understood it? If I want to suppose a paragraph, can I write a paragraph using a single line? Yes. So somebody people write the paragraph in a single line or not? Have you not seen essays and letters? कभी कभी लिखते हैं आखिरी वाला line, kindly note, comma, so consult your tutor mentor for this. That's also a paragraph. But if I want to write a more than one statement in a block, I should write down those statements inside curly braces. If I have only one statement in a block, curly brace is not mandatory, it's purely optional. And better choice is not to write. First time learner must put a curly braces even if we have one statement block. Understood it or not? With this next statement, which is outside the while statements. So then look at this. We could have a while expression, a group of statement available inside the block, not one, more than one. Statement I didn't write exactly. It is S1, S2, and S3, could be S4, S5, S6 like this. All have been written inside block, and next I have written a next statement. Okay? Or I could write it in this way, while expression S1. Now this here, the block contains one statement or more than one statement? One statement. Once curly braces is absent, one curly braces is absent after a while, it ought to consider how many statements in the block? One. If curly braces is there, it can either have one or more. But if no curly braces is there, means it has only, very good. Very good. Now the syntax, let me explain. When the while statement is executed, the expression gets executed first. Which one is executed first? Expressions. Could be any type of expression. Printf, scanf, less than equal, greater than equal, assign, any type of. But should not return a floating point value. Should not return a, normally it is a conditional statement. Normally it is a conditional statement, but should not return a floating point value. If the expression value is 0, it is treated as false. The body of the loop will not be executed. The body of the loop will not be, and it will directly go to the next statement for execution. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no. However, if the expression returns a non-zero value, treated as true. If it is true, it enters to the loop, execute the statement, and from the outer curly brackets, it returns back the while statement again. So after the expression gets executed, if the expression comes out to be true, it will be true provided the return value is non-zero. We enter, go on executing statement S1, S2, S3. How long will go on continue its execution? Till you come across the last braces. Yes or no? Once I get the brackets, again returns back to the while statements. If we do not have a curly braces starts, how many statements are there in the block? So after S1, I'll come back to the execution or not? Understood it? Yes or no? So syntax I explained, sequence of execution I explained. These are basically things which I told. Let me discuss one example. Write down. Yes.
Sir, non-zero is true for throughout the C language, for if also, like.
For non-zero integer it is true, zero integer it is false. Understood, Manas?
Yes.
Again, when we go for address variable, null will be treated as false, non-null is treated as true. That I'm not discussing it right now. I'll discuss in future. But for the time being, with integer variable, I discussed. Okay, Manas?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Display number 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 on the screen, one after another. Okay. Huh? I'm dictating, you listen. कान तो बंद नहीं है ना मेरा जैसे, तो फिर display the number 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9 on the screen on different lines. Then it will display 1, then 2, then 3 different lines. That's basically simple problem. See, my thrust here is to explain you how while statement works. Then I'll go to the complicated programs. So what I do, look at this. I took a counter and my counter is initialized to 1. Okay. Those who are opening your mobile, please close it. Don't use your mobile phone in my class. Listen to me. If you feel you are smart, you have understood everything, you need not to come to my class. If you are feeling very much confident, raise your hand. I will call you here and then I'll show your confidence in C programming. Whatever I have discussed, from there I'll ask only. Okay. I'm giving choices not to come to my class also. So I took an integer variable I equal to 1. That is basically my counter. When we run a loop, many times, if I want to run for fixed number of time 10, 20, 30, I must use a counter. Okay. My counter is initialized to 1. I will go on printing 1, 2 up to 9. How many times I should run my loop? 9 times. So someone could have written printf I plus plus printf I like this. I wrote while I less than 10, printf percentage d I and I equal to I plus 1 or I plus plus. So when I enter, if you look at the while statement, this is true or false? Initially, true. Enters, what it prints? Will the cursor remain the same line or come down to the next line? Very nice. When it comes to the next line and enter here, by that time value of I will become, again it will print, go on printing. Suppose it printed a 9. After printing 9 here, I will become, oh, very good. When it goes here, now it will become true or false? It will come out of this. Understood it? Yes or no? Very good. So if you have understood this, you will write a program which will display from 9 to 1. You will write a program which will display from 9, 8 like 1. Now, look at this. Another alternative. Here I didn't put the brackets. I didn't put the bracket because my body doesn't contain more than one statement. My body contains one statement. Do you understand this? Yes or no? Self-explanatory or I need some explanations? Print a percentage d I plus plus. When I write I plus plus, now tell me what is the value of I right now. Tell me what is the value of I. 1. Very nice, very nice. So first it will display, display 1 on the screen. Then it will become, and the cursor will come down the next line or not. Next time when it enters with true value, it will print 2. And the I will become, oh, in this way when it prints 9, after displaying 9, I value will become, and when it goes here, will become true or false? Very good. Do you understand this? Same thing, I only wrote the same thing using one statement in the body of the loop. Understood it? Yes or no? Yes. Look at this. Look at this. I initialize value of I to 0. Very good. I wrote plus plus I less than 10. Now 0 will be tested or 1 will be tested?
1.
1. After testing 1, it will print 1, then 2, then 3. Finally, when it 9 is also displayed, after displaying 9, I plus plus I, it will become 10 or not? False will come out of this or not? Choice is yours. How do you want to write? I am showing multiple options. I'm showing only multiple option. Choice is yours. Understood?
Sir, if it comes false, then it will be correct, right? Matlab
No.
the programming.
If it is false, will come out of the loop. Will come out
Okay,
of the
sir.
loop. Understood it?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next. For loop. ज्यादा मैं समझा नहीं रहा हूं. For loop में बहुत कुछ पढ़ लेंगे. For loop syntax. I have a for loop like this. The syntax of the for loop is like this. For. How many statements are there inside the for? Inside the bracket, 3 statements. S1 semicolon, S2 semicolon, S3 no semicolon ended with close brackets. Then we have a block. Block may either consist of how many statements? 1 or more. If you have 1 statement, do you need to put a curly braces compulsorily? No. If we have more than 1 statement to be executed repeatedly, I'll keep them inside curly braces. Then we have next statement to the loop. Now, statement S1 from copy में लिख लो. Statement S1 can be any type of statement. लिख लो. ये statement कहीं भी नहीं मिलेगा किताब में. किताब वाला अलग चीज है. Statement S1 can be any type of statement. I can write a printf statement in S1. I could write a printf statement in S1. Statement S1 can be any type of statement, but normally it is an assignment statement. Normally it is the assignment statement which is the initial value of the counter. Statement S1 can be any type of statement, but normally it is an initialization statement, initializing the value to the counter. Online student, audible, Supratim Manik.
Yes, sir.
Manish Kumar, Bharti Majumdar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, audible.
Yes, good. जब नहीं होगा तुम पूछ लिया करो. Now, statement S1 I told, but you must put a semicolon at the end of statement S1. Statement S2 can be any type of statement, but must be returning either an integer or an address. Statement S2 can be any type of statement, but must be returning an integer or an address. Address you forget temporarily, later on I'll explain. The return value must be an integer or an address. Address I'll tell later on. Inside bracket you must write must not return floating point value. That is very important. Must not return floating point value. Must not return floating point value.
Sir, integer के साथ.
हाँ, yes.
वो ब्रैकेट में लिखने बोला था ना, वो कहाँ पे?
बोलूंगा, wait करो, बोलूंगा. So S2 can be any type of statement, but must be returning an integer value, semicolon. S3 is purely optional. S3 is purely optional. We may not have a statement S3. We may not have a statement S3 is purely optional. बिना statement S3 लिखने से भी हो जाएगा. Normally S3 increments or decrements the counter. Normally S3 either increments or decrements the counter. Okay, normally, but it can also be purely optional. Then I have a block. Block consists of 1 or more statements, you all know, and the block needs to be executed repeatedly. Now look at this. I can write a for loop like this. I have statement S1, S2, S3, and inside my loop I have 3 more statements, S4, S5, S6. You could write 7, 8, 9, 10 like this. If I have one statement, I may not put the curly braces. I can write down S1, S2, S3 and followed by S4 only without curly braces. Understood the syntax? After understanding the syntax, we need to understand the flow of executions. Let me discuss the flow of execution of a for loop. Statement S1 is executed first and once. Statement S1 is executed first and once. एक ही बार रन करेगा and it will be executed first. Then statement 2 gets executed, and if the statement 2 returns a zero value, if it returns a zero value, it is treated as false. We will not enter to the body, will come out of the body and continue our execution from next statement to the loop. And what is the next statement to the loop? Outside the body. Understood? If the return value of statement S2 is non-zero, other than 0, -1, -2, +1, +2, it is treated as true. Rather than going towards right to S3, it enters to the body of the loop, start executing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Understood it? It doesn't go to S3. It rather goes to the body S4, S5, S6, S7 like this. And after completion of all statement inside the body, it returns back to statement S3. It returns back to the statement S3 and continue the execution from S3. And from S3, it goes back to S2. And from S2, it depends whether the outcomes of S2 is 0 or non-zero. If it turns out to be 0, then it out of the loop. If it turns out to be non-zero, then from S2 it enters to S4. Understood it or not? So depending upon the decision of S2, true or false, 0 or non-zero, either it enters the body of the loop or it comes out of the loop. Once it enters the loop, after executing the whole body, control returns back to statement 2 or statement 3. After completion of body, it returns back to statement S3. And from S3, it goes back to S2. And from S2, there are decision. Can either come out of the body or may enter to the body. Understood it? Tell me yes or no. So with this flow sequence of execution and syntax of understanding, let's write down the same program what we have written already using for loops. Same program. Displaying utility of why synonyms are there in English? Answer to my question.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Now, self-understood without explanations. Now, look at this. Int I. Then I wrote my for loop. For I assigns to 1, my counter. If I want to print 1 to 9, I can write on my I less than 10. I wrote I plus plus. Now printf. Let me show the sequence of executions. Let me show the sequence of executions. Tell me. So this I assigns to 1 is executed. Yes or no? We came to I less than 10. True or false? If it is true, it will display. What it will display? After this, it will go to I plus plus. I will become? Again, it will go back to this. True or false? If true comes back to printf, it will print 2. Yes or no? Again, it goes back to these statements. Value of I will become? Again, it goes here. True. Prints 3. In these will go on printing. Let's say it has printed 9. After printing 9, returns back to this. I will become? If I is 10, this statement will return a true value or false value?
False.
False value.
This will come out of this. Understood this loop? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let me discuss another one. Look at this. Look at this. Very many interesting things you will find out, which you must not have seen earlier. Many must have studied, but might not have faced such type of situations.
Yes, sir.
Look at this. I assigns to 0, I less than 9. Now tell me, I have a question here. After I less than 9, this is true or false?
True.
From here it will go to printf statement I plus plus. कहाँ पे जाएगा? No, after
I
S2
plus
it will
plus.
go to the body or it will go to the right hand side.
Body.
Body.
बॉडी में printf है कि I plus plus है?
I plus plus.
हाँ, यही तो मुश्किल है. कैसे समझ आ रहा है कि नहीं? Now value of I was initially, oh sorry, 0. Now it became
1.
1.
from here I'll return back to printf statement. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Now if it prints
Yes,
what it
sir.
prints, after that it will go to I less than 9. Is it true?
Yes,
If
sir.
yes,
Yes, sir.
if yes, from here it will come to printf or I plus plus. I plus.
Plus
I
plus
plus plus.
Oh, very nice. I will become
2.
2.
again from here will go back. What it will print?
2.
2.
Like this way, like this way. Suppose we have printed 1, 2 up to 8. After printing 8, it is true, will enter. I will become, again
9.
will go here and print 9. After printing 9, when I return back to this, is it true or false?
False.
Come out of this. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
do you realize now my statement 3 can be any type of statement? Doesn't matter I plus plus or I minus minus? Yes or no?
Yes.
Further interesting, further interesting, further interesting. और भी इंटरेस्टिंग है सर, कहां पे लूप लगाए? एक छोटा सा सेमीकोलन देके लूप बना दिया. Semicolon in C programming language is considered to be a null statement. Semicolon in C programming language is considered to be a null statement. And every loop ought to have at least one statement. Every loop ought to have at least. We cannot write down a loop without a statement to be executed repeatedly. So semicolon is a single statement. So I wrote here a semicolon. Is it understood? If I ask you here the question, can you tell me the body of this for loop? What is the statement available in the body of the for loop?
Null.
Null statement semicolon. Understood it or not? Let's see the execution. Let's see the executions. भाई syntax में भी किसको doubt है? Anyone has any doubt in the syntax? Tell me.
No, sir.
No sir. I assigns to 0. हाँ ट्रिपल दे दो, क्या प्रॉब्लम बचा है? एक स्टोरी सुनते थे, 2 स्टोरी सुनोगे? हाँ, 2 ही दे दो. 2 फुल स्टॉप देने से क्या होता सेंटेंस के बाद? कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, यही है. हाँ दे दो. Now come to this. I assigns to 0. Understood this? Yes or no? After I assigns to 0, I less than 10. True or false? अरे ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट कम से कम तुम लोग बोलो, ये तो बोल नहीं रहे ऑफलाइन.
True, sir. True.
खाना खा के सो जाता है इधर. हाँ, true. If it is true, will it go to printf statement or it will go to the body of the loop?
Sir, first it will go to body, then print.
Body. After body, nothing happens. Nothing happens. It will come back to the printf statement. Will it print 1 or 0? 1.
1.
I implemented first. After printing 1, it will go to this statement. Is it true or false?
True.
If true, it will come to semicolon. Then we return back. If it prints, what it will print? Very good. After printing 8,
सर बॉडी
Yes.
में तो सेमीकोलन है ना, तो फिर
हाँ semicolon run करेगा, semicolon run करेगा. Semicolon is just like a telling story to my student.
ओके सर.
हाँ, nothing will be learned, only you will listen. So when it prints 8 is less than 9. True. We came here. Again, I will be, what will be printed? 9. After printing 9, when it goes here, will it be true or false?
false.
Will come out of this. Is it understood?
Yes sir.
So now, so you should understand the for statement like this way. Then make use of this for statement for a program. Okay? अभी for statement हम लोग को पता चल गया. Now write down this program. Enter 10 numbers from the keyboard. Count the number of odd numbers and find their sum. Enter 10 numbers from the keyboard and count the number of odd numbers you have entered and find sum of those odd numbers. Is the question clear? Question is clear?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sanand, 50 is an odd number or even number?
Sir, even number.
Oh, very good.
Even number,
And
sir.
51?
Odd number.
Odd
Oh,
number.
very
Odd
good.
number.
Very good. You know the formula. I do not know. Anyway, you at least know. Very good. Nice. Now, when you write a program, first declare variables with initializations. Yes or no? And whenever you prefer to write a loop, Don't forget to take a counter. Okay, let's take a counter I, and I'll take a variable here. Sum assigns to 0. Initially, we have not taken any input. Initial sum is 0. Finally, sum will keep on holding sum of the odd numbers what we are entering one by one. N is the number where I'll input my number. N is the variable through which we'll input our number. Count is a variable which will count how many odd numbers I have entered. Have you understood the purposes of all my 4 variables? Sum
Yes,
will
sir.
store the intermediate sum. Finally, it will store the final sum. N is basically the variable through which I will input my values. Count is basically 0, which will count number of odd numbers. I is basically the counter which will run my loop for 10 times. Can you tell what should I write to run my loop for 10 times? For I assigns to 0, I less than. Very good. जैसे बोला ऐसे आया. If I'm going to run my loop for 10 times, I start a counter from 0. The counter should be ended with 10 or 9.
9.
9.
Very good, very good, very good, Sanja. 9. So I wrote I equal to 0, assigns to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Up to this understood, my loop will be executed how many times? 9 or 10 times?
10 times.
10 times. 0 से शुरू किया 9 तक चलेगा 10 times. Is it understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Rajshekhar Malhotra, understood or not? क्या नाम है कुछ तो Sanindya Mohan, Suryank, understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very good. Read the number from keyboard using printf and scanf. Understood it? Everyone, tell me yes or no. Printf, enter the next number. Scanf %d %n. Understood, everyone? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, understood.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
So, Devjit Goswami, should I add it or I must test the odd number or not?
Add what, sir?
Should I add it to the previous sum or I must check the number is odd or not?
First, you should check if it's
Number is
odd.
odd or not. Achha, can anyone say how to know a number is odd or not?
Sir, I % 2 equal double equal to 0. That
वेरी गुड बोल दिए जैसे बोला ऐसे कर देंगे ठीक है यही बोला ना n percentage n mod 2 is equal to 1 means it's an odd number. अच्छा if it is an odd number you should increase your counter by 1 and you should write down the sum equal to sum plus n. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Will it enter here if the number is even? And now after running my loop for 10 times,
No, sir.
I'll display the number. I'll display the count and sum. Understood the problem? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. फिर भी उसी प्रोग्राम में थोड़ा देखते हैं क्या क्या जाता है. ये समझ में है? हाँ बोलो से आगे बढ़ूं.
सर n% 2 इक्वल टू 1 यहाँ पे n% 2 ये क्यों है मतलब ये वाला समझ में नहीं आया.
कौन सा दोबारा पूछो नाम दोबारा पूछो.
और वो इफ ब्रैकेट में n%.
ये परसेंटेज नहीं है ये मॉड ऑपरेटर है. दिस इज नॉट परसेंटेज दिस इज मॉड ऑपरेटर.
ओके सर.
मॉड समझ आया अभी.
हाँ
सही बात. ये परसेंटेज नहीं है सी में ये मॉड है. ठीक है कि नहीं. अरे ये परसेंटेज निकालता है क्या है. हाँ कुछ अलग है. ये समझ में आया कि नहीं.
Yes, sir.
Anandya Mohan.
yes.
Ananya Mathur. Yes. If you
Yes,
have
sir.
understood, if you have understood this, is it understood?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
ये देखो तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ फ्लिप कर रहा हूँ किस जगह पे आ रहा है समझ में.
sir,
ये तो समझ में आ गया. Equal to 1. If I write n mod 2, will it work or not? Tell me if the number is 51. If the number is 51.
So because non-zero is true.
Yes, very good. If the number is 51, मैं जो पूछ रहा हूँ उसका जवाब देना. If number is 51, mod 2, what it returns?
Sir, it will be true.
If it returns 1, will it return true or not?
True.
If it is 20, and I write 20 mod 2, what it returns?
0.
0.
Do I need to write double equal 1 or this mod 2 will also work? Tell me.
It will also work.
It will work, sir.
Those who have not understood, write down this. Okay, those who have not understood, write down this. Those who have understood, write down this.
sir.
Huh.
So why are you written the count plus plus?
I want to increase my counter. I want to know number of odd numbers.
सर
Yes.
इफ n mod 2 अगर n mod 2 होगा तो सर वो तो ट्रू हो जाएगा ना सर, अगर तो इवन का सम आएगा, ऑड का सम नहीं आएगा शायद।
शायद मतलब शायद क्या फिर होता है सौरभ?
सर अगर n mod 2 रहेगा तो सर इवन का सम आ जाएगा ना सर, ऑड का
तो
सम नहीं
करके देखो, करके देखो, करके देखो जरा, करके देखना. Those who have not understood this, go to the previous one. Again, look at this. Same program. Look at this. I don't write any if statement. Look at this. I don't write any if statement. Count equal to count plus n mod 2. When this will be increased? Tell me. This mod 2 value can either be 0 or 1.
Yes, sir.
When it will be 0,
Yes,
if the
sir.
number is very
False.
good. If
False.
number is even, no count increase. If the number is odd, it will increase by 1 or not. मजा आ रहा है? जो नहीं समझ रहे पहला वाला करो, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. Again, sum equal to sum plus n mod 2 into n. If it is even, if the number is even, will it be added or 0 will be added? 0.
0.
If the number is odd, it will add the number or not?
Yes, sir.
आया समझ में? Very good. Very good. Look at this. I have another alternative. Count equal to count plus n by 2 or sum equal to sum plus this. Okay. Next question. This I have already done. Display the time period of a simple pendulum for different values of length starting from 10 with an incremental length of 10. And you display it in this format using for loops. Okay. One more question you note down. One more question you note down. This is the solution. One more statement you write down. Write a for loop to convert the degree Fahrenheit equivalent of degree centigrade input will be 30 degree, 40 degree up to 90 degree. Input will be 30 degree centigrade, 40 degree centigrade, 50 degree centigrade up to 90 degree centigrade. You will display the equivalent Fahrenheit value. Understood? Or yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
We have degree equivalent, Fahrenheit equivalent of 30 degree, Fahrenheit equivalent of 40, 50 up to 90. And the last question. Before I discuss the last question, let me discuss about a break statement. If I write a for loop, again, देखा कि कथा होची ना एठी डाकी दियो ताकि ना एठी माने हां anyone who is talking, call him here. Look at this. If I write a for loop for I varies from 0, I less than 20, let me say I plus plus, how many times my loop needs supposed to be executed?
I is less than
I less than 20.
20 times.
20 times. Yes or no? Normally it is executed 20 times. However, if I put a break, we will come out of the loop rather than executing the rest part of the loops. Understood? Suppose after few statements, I wrote a break here. I wrote if x is equal to 0, break. Some more statements are here. The moment x became 0, we will break it, will come out of the loop rather than entering to the loop again to execute it. Understood it? So before exhausting the whole loop, I can write a break statement to come out of this. Now with this break statement, let me explain one problem. Display whether a number is prime or not. Display whether a number is prime or not. Okay. So given an input n, write down the input is, let's say n or num, whatever it is. I will verify the number is a prime number or not. Like odd number, you have told me. You have told me odd number, so how to know it. Somebody told find out the mod. If the remainder is 1, it is basically a odd number. How do you know a number is prime or not?
So divisible by 1 and itself.
So if it has only 2 factors, then it is a prime.
We will
One
divide it by.
What is your name? Ankita, possibly.
It's
Many are telling the answer possibly. Ankita, somebody का नाम लड़की का पता नहीं मतलब.
Manshi.
Mansi, yes, Mansi told the correct answer. If it is divisible by 1 on itself, suppose I told a number 10, is it divisible by 1 on itself? Or yes or no? Yes. 10 is divisible by 1 on itself, but not a prime number. Divisible
Divisible by
only.
other numbers.
Yes,
That's right.
if you tell divisible only by 1 on itself, then it's a prime number. So the definition should be correct, not that divisible by 1 on itself. I can say 32 is divisible by 1 on itself or not. So now, if the number is not divisible by any other number, yes or no, other than 1 on itself, suppose the number is 37. Sorry. Suppose the number is, let me say 37. I want to check whether the number is a prime number or not. I'll start dividing it from 2, then 3, then 4. I may continue up to the previous number 36. If it is neither divisible by any of the number 2 to 36, I can say number is a prime number. If somewhere it is divisible, then is the number a prime number? Suppose by it is divisible by 5. Suppose it is divisible by 5. Do I need to verify the division with 6, 7, 8?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So my
We can
question
break.
here is, definitely the number will be divided with the T2, not divisible. Continue to do it with 3, not divisible. Continue to do with 4 like this way. If it is not divisible by, finally, I can go up to n minus 1 if the number is n. Or I can go up to n by 2. Or we can go up to square root of n. Let me go up to n by 2. I will not check for 37 up to 36. To check 37 as a prime or not, I'll check it up to 2, 3 up to 18. If it is not divisible by neither 2 nor 3 up to 18, it's a prime number. Okay? Understood or not? So I'll go num divided by num by 2. If in between anywhere it is divisible, should I continue to check for the next number or I should stop it? I should stop it and declare the number is a prime. Not prime, composite numbers. Then, in all these cases, we normally take a variable, let's say flag, assign it to 1, assume that number is a prime number. Number is a prime number. Assume that. Flag is 1, number is a prime number. Flag is 0, number is a composite number or not a prime number. Understood or not? We take a variable. And when we find this is not a prime number, we change the flag to 1. If this is the case, now come to this. My input is num. My output will be a flag whose value can be 1, indicates that the number is prime. Flag is 0, indicates that number is not prime. And I assume my number is a prime number, flag is 1. My loop will be executed how many times? Loop will start from, then it will go free and finally go up to num by 2, num minus 1, num by 2. I'll go on dividing. Any time I find it is divisible, if it is divisible, I'll change my flag to 0 and break it or exit from that loop. I'll come out. If all the time I divided it is not divisible, I'll come out of the loop. By that time my flag will be 1 or not. If my flag is 1, number is prime. If the flag is 0, number is not prime. Let's write down this. Declaration is understood. Everyone tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
My loop will be executed. Understood it or not? I assigns to 2, I less than norm divided by 2, I plus plus. Is it understood? Or yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll divide. If norm mod I equal to 0, norm mod I equal to 0, what does it mean? Divisible or non-divisible?
Divisible.
If it is divisible, very good, Sanindra. If it is divisible, should I continue or stop it?
You can stop.
If I stop it, Arja, if I stop it, should I keep my flag as 1 or I should convert it to 0?
0.
Very good. Very good. If it is divisible, I converted my flag to 0, I break the loop, come out of this. And
Yes,
if it is never being divisible, will come out, and when it comes out, my flag must be 1 or not.
Yes, sir.
Then I wrote if flag. Should I write if flag? Or for better understanding, can I write flag equal to 1 over here?
Both will work.
Both will work. But which one is more enjoyable?
Sir,
Which
enjoyable.
one? Should I write if flag or if flag all equal to 1? If flag can also be written, yes.
Yes, sir.
Is it understood? Can I write like this? देखो थोड़ा. Or yes or no?
Yes, sir.
हाँ, yes, sir.
ये भी होगा. ठीक है? हाँ, you take give waste मत किया करो. Look at the another example. I took another variable. Num by 2. It was num by 2. I took one more variable t, stored the variable num by 2 and tested t less than equal to I less than equal to t. I'll definitely give 2 mark grace if anyone will answer to this question. Why did I do like this?
Sir, execution time कम जाएगा.
Very good. What is your name?
Sir,
Abhishek. Abhishek Malik है ना?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Abhishek told the very correct answer very quickly. I'll definitely give some grace mark in the internal. Look at this. In the previous example, if you look at this, in the previous example, every time we run this program, suppose the value of norm is 101. This num by 2, how many times it will be executed? Every time I enter to the loop, this num by 2 will be calculated or not? And
Yes,
division takes a lot of time. Division takes a lot of time. 50 times it may be calculated. Division takes a lot of time. What Abhishek exactly answered to this question? Very rightly. Let me take one more variable t. Assigns to num by 2. So t, if num is 101, t will be assigned to 50. How many times
Yes.
num by 2 is executed?
One time.
Only
One
once.
time, sir.
Only once, yeah. And every time I will verify to the t or not. So computation time will be enhanced, and that should also be our objective when we write program being a computer science students. What should I write so that my computation time will be less? Assignment to this: print all prime numbers starting from 3 to 100. Print all or display all prime numbers starting from 3 to 100. Okay. So one is check whether a number is prime or not. Next, you'll write a program for this. And before that, what I told, you'll write statement to display this. Simple pendulum time period, if the lengths are known. Degree Fahrenheit, degree centigrade is also one question. Okay. And before that, you will take 10 numbers from the keyboard, find the number of odd numbers and find their sum also. Okay. And prior to this, we only discussed these two for loops and while loops. Those who are well accustomed with this need not to print 1 to 9 on the screen. Okay. You can start from here onwards. But those who will write program for the first time, I'll advise them to write down this loop also. The while loop which I told to print 1 to 9 and also the for loop to print 1 to 9 to understand the loop in a better way. You must also do. Those who are writing program for the first time. Otherwise, you can start writing program from here. Okay. All program try to finish it here. If anyone is not completed before 6 o'clock, do it in your home. So tomorrow class, you can understand if you spend some time in writing all these programs. Okay. What?
Sir,
So we have to print there is one program we have to print the prime numbers from 3 to 100.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Now, online students, enter to your breakout room.